you know, they made a billion of those. They only made about, what, 600 million peace dollars. So, you know, and of that.
This is an ANA release piece dollar at $249.99.
Same thing. We were just showing that. So the Morgan, so they released them together. Look, they are kind of inexorably intertwined. Peanut butter, jelly, bacon, eggs, you know, any way you look at it, because they followed each other. They were the last silver dollars that the United States Mint, in essence, ever made, is what it comes down to. And there were dollars before that, but they were so functionally rare. I mean, you have to understand, until the Civil War in this country, Spanish pieces of 8 were legal tender. I mean, you know, anything that was silver was legal tender because the government couldn't make any money or couldn't make it fast enough. So you had seeded Liberty dollars, but they just don't exist. They're thousands and thousands of dollars. You had bust dollars before that. I mean, you know, my goodness, those things are tens of thousands of dollars.
I don't think I've ever heard of a bust dollar.
Yeah, I sold one here years ago. I had like 5 1803s or something like that. It was crazy, yeah. So, that we were able to put out. But then the Morgan and Peace silver dollars came out, and they made enough of those to actually, you know what I'm saying, to actually be presented to the world, for actually use for legal tender. And so they became incredibly and phenomenally popular because they were so widely distributed. They became literally ubiquitous. And so they became very popular. People collected them, people put them by. But because of that, the vast majority of them are in bad condition. And so that ended for the Morgan silver dollar in 1921. Well, the Peace silver dollar starts in 1921. And the Morgan silver dollar was supposed to continue, but they made a 1921 commemorative peace dollar to commemorate the end of World War I. And it was so fantastically popular that they continued that design until 1935, when they made the last silver dollar that the United States Mint ever made, was in 1935. And that was a peace dollar. And so in 2021, for the 100th anniversary of the end of the Morgan silver dollar and the 100th anniversary of the beginning of the peace silver dollar, they started making both of them again. And so, and of course, they made, what, 5 Morgan silver dollars and a Peace silver dollar. They sold out instantly. They're selling for big premiums in the marketplace because they're sold out. I mean, when you have a sold out limited edition, the original issue price is usually not something you can get them for anymore. And so they made those in 2021. Then you go to 2022, and the United States Mint desperately wanted to make the Morgan and Peace silver dollars in 2022. However, because of, like, there wasn't enough silver. There, you know, we have a massive shortage of physical silver in the world today. That becomes very difficult, so the Mint can't get blanks. The Mint, because of the contracts they have, it becomes difficult to get enough blanks. So they couldn't make silver dollars, Morgan and Peace silver dollars, in 2022. They resolved some of those issues for 2023 and are going to release Morgan and Peace silver dollars this year. And they released them concurrently. They released them at the same time. And they did the Mint State coins together. Now, once again, we had those from the Fun Show. That's in Orlando. Those are long gone. We had our advance release in the Mint States. Those are long gone. And then they released about, I think it was about 3 weeks ago now, is they released the Morgan and Peace proof dollar. Once again, proof coins are, generally speaking, considered far more collectible than the Mint State coins. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And so because of that, they're even more highly sought after by collectors. And these, instead of releasing them at the Fun Show, they released them at the Pittsburgh ANA show. Now understand, of the coins that they release, only a tiny fraction of them are actually released at the show. The vast majority of the coins, are just shipped out by the United States Mint to collectors. And so what you have is you have this coin that is going to completely and totally sell out from the United States Mint. There's no doubt about that in the Morgan and Peace silver dollar. Okay, so that's what you start the universe with, an already desirable, already highly collectible coin. Now you want to winnow that down from a collecting standpoint. So now you want to have how many of them are going to be perfect. So now you take that 400,000 and now you take it down to 20,000 coins, maybe something like that. I don't know the exact population right now. I suspect it's under 10,000.
But aren't proof coins harder to be perfect because
100% because of the mirror finish.
The mirror finish,
anything in that mirror shows any design flaws, and so it no longer can be perfect proof 70. keep it in mind that in coin collecting, we grade on a 70-point scale, not a 100-point scale. Don't ask me why. That's why well, I know why. Dr. Sheldon decided that in the 1970s when he was grading pennies. And we said, okay, that looks good. We'll just stay with that. We'll just stick with that.
For all
and
eternity.
so these are absolutely perfect. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. And so this, for this coin, Pittsburgh ANA and NGC, the most valuable is going to be in proof 70 condition.
Right.
So now you take that 400,000 coins, get it down to, let's call it 15,000 coins. But then you have the provenance, in other words, where it comes from, where it was released, okay? And then the next available thing is probably going to be this Pittsburgh ANA, is going to be, in essence, the rarest in terms of provenance, in terms of how it was released, the fact that it was released at the show. And of course, it was released under circumstances that were very, very difficult to do. And the piece silver dollar is incredibly popular in its own right, is a virtually unique United States design. By law, all coins of a denomination of 10 cents or larger are required to have an eagle. Almost without exception in the history of the United States Mint, that eagle is either in flight or has its wings spread in what's called a heraldic eagle design. And it has in its talons, almost always, the arrows of war and the olive branch of peace, one in each. This is the end of World War I. The world and the United States is war-weary at this point, and the eagle, the American eagle, is finally at rest from this war, and the eagle carries only the olive branch of peace in her talons. And so I think that's critically important for you to understand that this is a very specific design coin. This coin was not supposed to be put into production, but because of the phenomenal popularity of the coin when it was released, the United States government was almost forced to continue to produce this coin. It ended in 1935 and then started again in 2021. Now here's the secondary part of this, and this is why you absolutely want to be on the phone. So not only do we have the Pittsburgh NA, not only is it perfect, not only is it going to be a sold-out limited edition from the United States Mint. In the history of the United States Mint, they have made a sum total of 1 proof peace dollar, and you're looking at it. Every mint,
there's only one?
There's only one. It's this coin. So it is one of those numismatic unicorns, if you will.
Wow.
And so that in and of itself makes it collectible and desirable and highly sought after. All of that is critically important to its value. Now you have the only proof peace dollar that's ever been made by the United States Mint. Now you have it in perfect condition. Now you have an Ultra Cameo, which is an additional designator of value. You've sold Cameo jewelry here.
Yes.
And that's where it comes from. Where, you kind of have this backdrop, and then the portrait in essence stands out. And so we've borrowed that as well in numismatics.
I hate to share this, but our producer calls it a unicorn.
A unicorn, yeah, it's a unicorn coin. There's absolutely no doubt. It's a unicorn coin when it's the only one of its kind. And so everybody wants to have this. Everybody needs to have this in their collection. So if you're a piece silver dollar collector and you want to have within this, you want a proofed piece dollar, this has got to be the coin.
There's so many designations.
Right, and if you want to collect this coin, then why not collect it in its rarest grade, perfection, which of course this is, and then in its rarest designation as well, which is going to be that Pittsburgh ANA. You can see on this one, also below 400. That's not counting everybody that's on the phone right now. So you've got an absolutely unique coin. You've got an absolutely historic coin. You've got it in its finest condition. You've got it in its highest grade. You've got it in its most difficult to get ANA Pittsburgh that you have right now. And like I said, at the show, I mean, it was a little crazy at the show. People getting in the line and trying to get the coin.
And this is brand new, by the way.
Right, and I've not aired this, so our very, very first
Is this going to be on the 8 o'clock show?
Yes, well, whatever's left.
Whatever's left, but today might be it, is what you're saying.
Sure, if we sell the 300, well, probably 300 coins or so would be left, I imagine, after this airing as it goes through the day.
Right.
I suspect that the 8 p.m. will be the final primetime airing I have of this coin.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not, but I mean, likely the way that it's, the response that people are giving to this coin.
But also because there isn't like thousands of them.
No.
It's not like a Today's Special.
No, like this coin, the ANA Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh Perfect Designation NGC. I mean, we've got, it's these, I think we had 400 something coins, 450. And that was every coin. I don't have this in Annex. So it's not like there's not going to be a Pittsburgh ANA Annex coin. There's not going to be a Pittsburgh ANA PCGS coin. So the only Pittsburgh ANA show release proof Morgan or piece silver dollar that I'm going to do is from NGC. So, okay, so that is going to be unique in that regard as well. You can see that Pittsburgh ANA release. And what that means is this coin was literally released at that coin show. So what happens is you go to the coin show. The United States Mint literally backs up an armored car.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then they unload the dollars. And then, you know, the dealers, we got our several hundreds of coins, okay? And then they start releasing them to the general public. And then when they're gone, they're gone. There's no backup armored car.
There must be a lot of security at these shows.
Oh, there's a lot of, well, because on the average, I would say on the floor of an ANA like this or a fun show, you're probably looking at $500, $600, $800 million worth of coins, something like that.
What?
Somewhere in, oh, there's lots of million-dollar coins there. So there's going to be $50 million coins, single coins, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
Does
of dealers.
Does a person go to a show and buy $1 million coin?
Oh yeah, they trade between dealers and collectors pretty regularly. Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
they have coins that are on display, like 1933 St. Gaudens occasionally. You know, they'll have something like that. The Mint will put one on display. That's a $22 million coin. You know, there's always an 1804 silver dollar there someplace. That's what, 3 or 5 million, something like that.
Wow.
So, you know, that's what you get there. But this, so you have all those million dollar coins. Where was the line? For this coin.
For this coin.
For this
For
coin.
this coin.
And like I said, so what we do here at
Wow, and it's brand new, brand new,
right,
brand new.
And what we do here at HSN, we give you flex pay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, we give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. Nobody else is doing 30-day
Buy
money-back
with your
in the
credit
coin
card,
in the
no
coin
fee,
business.
no extra fee.
No extra fee, and no convenience fee, which I always
Yeah.
say 4%, but they can go as high as 5 or 6%. And like I said, I don't know who that's convenient for. I know it's not you. You don't have to pay that here.
Definitely not our customer. Oh my gosh, and you also get 30 days to, you know, for any reason at all, you can, you know, return a coin. I know that that is not the case at the coin show. Sounds like you can't even leave the building and return. little alone return, you're right? It's like once you leave, it's like Disney. You know, once you're out, you're out.
You're
you
out,
can't
you're
come
out.
back in.
No re-entry. What do you mean?
No re-entry.